Well, good evening, folks. We finally made it out of the driveway and down the road. You know, it's funny, I don't know if anybody has the same problem I do, but when somebody tells me, you know, that they got sick and they had a tiny tickle in their throat and then a cough and a sinus pain and everything like that, about an hour later I get all those things. So I don't want to hear about anybody's diseases, because pretty soon I'll be just as sick as you are without any or good reason. But I watched Slim Potato Head's video this morning, but while we were waiting for the garbage to go, and he had some bearing problems. So now I'm driving around on my car and I'm hearing noises in the front wheels. It's just bad. Anyways, this is day one of the big trip. We are at Cave Mountain Lake Campground. It's a federal campground. It's a cheap site for old people, a cheap site for new people. The nice thing about these federal sites is they don't have any stupid reservation fees. So when you're just one night, you're not doubling your cost. Akila's out finding firewood, so we're just sitting here doing the beginning of the video. But we're in Virginia. About halfway. We're going to be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Not quite Washington, D.C. proper, but in the Greenbelt Campground, Washington, D.C. And that's a Forest Service campground that I think that's $10 a day too. So those are really, really good campgrounds. $10 for old people. You got to have the pass. But it's, you know, $20 a night, and they have no hookups or anything, but they do have hot showers and all that stuff. So this is day one. We traveled roughly 4 hours today. We took a circuitous route instead of taking the interstates. We went the U.S. highways on kind of a strange route. It's kind of like we made a big loop, or a big arc through North Carolina. Some of the towns that I don't get to too often, and so it took us a lot longer than the Google said we could get here in 2.5 hours, I think, and we made it 4.5. And the car is packed with stuff, so poor Keela has to sit in the back seat, which he's not too happy about. He doesn't really have room to stretch out and lay down. But we're going to see my sons in Washington tomorrow, and we're going to offload a lot of junk to them because it's their junk, which is the good idea of having fully employed, fully adult children. You might as well not be hauling their stuff everywhere. You want your stick on camera? All right, this is his stick. It was bigger than this, of course. But for the most part, for the next 70 days, we'll be doing 1 and 2 day campgrounds. We're just traveling, and it's more seeing places. And we're only going. I think the longest we travel is 4 hours, according to Google. But most of the things are 2 to 3 hours at the most. And so our hope is that we can get places, go hiking, do some exploring, whatever we want to do. And then really get a good video out for you guys to see what the places are about. Now this is Cave Mountain Park and Campground. It's Cave Mountain Lake Recreation Area, and I've done a video on it before, and of course I'll put that up here so you can see it. I've done it in the past, and I've said that I don't want to tell you where it is because it's such a nice campground, but they've ruined it. The National Forest Service has ruined it. It's all reserves now. Before it was first come, first served, nobody came here. So it was real nice and quiet. Now it's Father's Day weekend, and it is packed with fathers and their children, and tons and tons of tents, which is cool. But we're going to be listening to kids screaming all day and night, I'm sure. But like I said, we're only here one night. So we'll be gone real early in the morning. The exception to our individual day thing is the Aliner rally, of course. We're going to be in Pennsylvania after Washington. at the Aliner rally. We don't actually stay at the Aliner rally because they stay at a RV resort, which is pretty tight, and it's not really made for A-liners. It's the problem with the A-liners is that most of them don't have bathrooms and showers in them. So if you get 25 or 30 A-liners there, the bathrooms and showers are overloaded. So I'm going to a state park that's I think it's 12 miles away, called Laurel Hills, Pennsylvania. It's where I went last time they were there. And it's a real nice state park. I did a video on that, and that'll be up there when I'm at the Aliner rally. But I will do a video of the Aliner rally and then get some drone footage and all that, because it's a private campground. And tell you a little bit about the plans on the big trip. We have made reservations through 4 different reservation services, and they're all crazy stupid. We have at least one state park in New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And we have 29 reservations. Different campgrounds. 29 different reservations. So out of the 79 days, we'll be at 29 different campgrounds. For the paid campgrounds, the total cost is $1,100. So that's not too bad. And that's not counting the Aliner rally. The Aliner rally is $179 or something, but I didn't put that in there because that's a rally, that's something else. But for paid sites, we're going to be 47 days in paid sites for the entire camping trip. For 47 days of paid campsites, that's about $29.50 a night. And the campgrounds in Maine and Vermont are around $35 a night with a reservation system. So it's pretty expensive. And I do have a couple of private campsites that, you know, the state doesn't have sites. And the Maine North Woods campsites are $33 a night. There's a fee to get into the Maine North Woods, and then there's a fee for the camping. So it comes out to be $33 a night. So $29.50 for paid campsites, and for the whole, if you take all that cost over the whole period of time, it comes out to be about $17.50 per night for the entire expedition. And of course, yeah, state parks are the most expensive at about $30, $35, $33 a night. And one of the things that gets me is these state parks charge sales tax. I don't understand that. Why does a state park need to charge sales tax? It's a tax to begin with. It's a tax to use the park. They also, of course, bump up their costs by saying it's a $20 a night camping fee, and then they add $6 for electricity and $5 if there's a hot shower, and then they have another $3 for garbage, and all these fees they just tack on. And I know some of the national parks or national forest campsites do that if they're concessions. If they're run by concessionaires instead of actual Forest Service people, they do the same thing. But anyways, we're on the road. We've got people staying in the house, so the house is good. Of course, there's cameras all over it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But got people staying there for 2 months that want to check out the colleges around North Carolina, and a lot of nice places around there to play with during the summer. So the first part of our trip is going to Washington, D.C., and it blows my mind that if you're over 62, you can stay for $10 a night. If you're under 62, then it's $20 a night. And they do have hot showers, and they have firewood available, and it's a pretty nice campground, I think. You'll see the review on that because I've never been there before. So I won't be under a bridge with homeless people just because it's Washington, D.C. And we'll try to do a quick review of that, and do a lot of fun things around Washington, D.C. because it's not in Washington, D.C. obviously, but it's within 17 miles, I think, of the Lincoln Memorial, which is on one end of the mall, and then the Capitol building is on the other end of the mall, and that's 18 minutes. So you can literally see all of the downtown, but it's very convenient. So you'll see that, and we'll go to some of the places for the Arboretum and some of the wildlife refuges and stuff like that. And sorry, I'm a nature guy. So that'll be coming up. And if you've never been to Washington, D.C., you should go, because it's just an amazing spot. It was a city designed to be what it is. And it's full of memorials, full of statues, full of museums and history. If you haven't been, put it on your list of places to go. And the people watching in Washington is first class, because there is every kind of person in the world there. There's everything from street people to world leaders just wandering around Washington, D.C. And it's just a lot of fun to watch how they dress, what they do, what they're talking about. There's every nation in the world is there coming to visit and looking for stuff, for visiting their embassies or stuff like that. It's a great place to visit just for the people. And then all the billions of dollars of museums and everything else is just really a thing, a benefit to the American people. So stay tuned. We're going to list these as episodes. This is episode 1 of the big trip, and we're going to have a playlist just for this. So if you miss one, you can go to the playlist. We'll see you in Washington. We're going to go for a little walk. We'll take you with us, but I don't think there'll be anything. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. We'll see you on the road. Bye-bye. All right, here's where we are. George Washington and Jefferson National Forests and the Cave Mountain Recreation Area, which is in the middle of the forest. It's quite a nice area. They have some really nice trails to get up to tops of a couple mountains. But there's the campground map. You come in the entrance road with the worst speed bumps I've ever seen in my life. And then we're at 23, right there, across from the host that doesn't exist this time. Bathhouse just up the road, and then we used to go to this one way up here, 25. That's our favorite. It's got a toilet right next to it, and it's a back end way up in the woods. But it's a pretty nice campground. We like it a lot. I thought we'd just pick out the very best campsites. If you don't need sunlight, this is like a wonderful campsite. There's nobody hardly around you. This is number 27. It's reserved tonight through tomorrow and Sunday. And here is 25 is also pretty nice. It's the next one over, and it's